Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So as you know, on Sunday when I went to that brilliant show in Taunton, I got myself an Asian fawn, otherwise known as the Chilobrachys huahini, an adult female. She's very feisty, guys. Oh my god. Not a species for a beginner. So yeah, they are very feisty. So she's an adult female, around the 4 to 5 inch in leg span, so she's a big girl. Unfortunately, I haven't got any substrate left, so I'll have to take some substrate out of this enclosure here. And there's my beautiful adult female, Brachypelma albiceps. So Brachypelmas seem to burrow as slings. They don't burrow as much as adults, so I'm going to take half of the substrate out of here and put it into this enclosure here. So she'll be going into this enclosure, and the Asian fawn will be going into this enclosure here. I have a beautiful piece of wood that will go inside this enclosure, and she'll web it up and make tunnels, and it's going to look absolutely fantastic. And there we go, guys. Look at that piece of wood. Oh my god. I've cut it down to size, just here and here, because it was a little bit big for the enclosure. But yeah, you imagine that inside the enclosure, a nice large water dish just there. And Chilobrachys, they don't burrow down or anything like that, so they only need a couple of inches of substrate. I'll put a little bit of sphagnum moss in there just for a little bit of humidity, but the water dish should be okay as well. But yeah, look at that. You imagine that in the enclosure, guys, and her making tunnels all in these little gaps here, everywhere. Absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad I kept this piece of wood. So yeah, that'll be going inside the enclosure. But the first thing to do, guys, is to put my Brachypelma albiceps in a little cricket tub. And let's get started. So I have my cricket tub just there. So let's just take out these fake plants. I'll give them a clean in just a second. But I'll use them again. So I used to use real plants, but I had some really bad outbreak of flies. Gnats are the horrible things. So I've switched back to the plastic. It's just a lot easier, to be honest, guys. I'll use this this hide here that I got from one of the shows a few years ago. I'll use that and put that in the new enclosure for the Brachypelma. Because like I said earlier, Brachypelmas don't really burrow down as adults, but mainly do as slings. So we'll just put the cricket tub there, or the lid I should say, and then we'll just coax her over. She should be okay. I paid £35 for her, and that was with postage as well. A gentleman was getting rid of his collection. So now my phone's on a tripod. It's a lot easier. I can use my both hands and just get her to calmly just walk over to the lid. Unfortunately, she's not eating very much at the moment, so possibly she could be in pre-molt. There you go. She's got a few of her legs sticking out there, but yeah, she should be okay. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. She's safely inside the cricket tub. Just has to touch her legs a little bit, and yeah, she's okay in there. Nice big abdomen as well. So I got her maybe 5 or 6 years ago now, but beautiful species. I actually have another Brachypelma as well, a lot smaller than that one. I'm hoping that's a male. Future breeding project in the future, hopefully. I always say that and never really get a sack, but all you can do is just keep on trying. Let's just get rid of all this webbing, and we'll take half of that substrate out, guys, and put it in the other enclosure. So guys, I've taken the other enclosure off the shelf, and if you remember, this enclosure had my mature male Theraphosa apophysis. So let's just get some koi, which I'm trying to get rid of, but unfortunately I can't at the moment because I can't afford to buy any potting soil at the moment. So yeah, we'll fill this up guys, a couple of inches for the Brachypelma albiceps, put a water dish in, a couple of fake plants for some decoration, which is optional, and then we'll put the hide back in. There we go. And the Brachypelmas do like it nice and dry, so there's no need to spray the enclosure or add any sphagnum moss. The water dish is perfectly fine. There we go. Just spread it around a little bit. So a couple of more inches guys and we should be done. So everyone, there we go, all done. So I'm just going to put the water dish back in. Let's just quickly fill that up. I hope everybody has a lovely weekend. And like I said, I'm just going to be putting some fake plants in just for a little bit of decoration. It just spruces the enclosure up a little bit. You don't have to if you don't want to. And then I'll put the hide back in, and that should be all done for her. I'll just leave it on the edge of there, just helps her to go underneath. And there you go guys, there's my enclosure for my Brachypelma albiceps. So the last thing to do is to put her in the enclosure. Hopefully she should be up a day. Should be a good girl if I don't. I'll just give her a little touch. And there we go. So that's the Brachypelma albiceps done. And yeah, she's an absolutely stunning species. A must-have in anybody's collection. These have gone up in price now, or got to be 120, 150 pound now. These, so yeah, she's all done, all sorted, and I'll put that enclosure back on the shelf. So guys, this is the other enclosure with the Brachypelma albiceps was in. So I've cleaned all the sides of the enclosure, and I've left, you know, couple of inches, 2 or 3 inches of substrate in there. So I'm going to put that beautiful piece of wood in, which should fit absolutely spot on. Yes, it does. I did measure it, and sorry about the shakiness there guys. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll put the water dish just in the corner here. We'll just top that up with some water. And I'm just going to put a couple of fake plants in, just like I did with the Brachypelma enclosure. I'll put one there. I'll put one just here in the corner. And the Chinese fawn, they like it dry as well. You can just spray the webbing, because this will be all webbed up in a couple of months or so. So there you go guys, it's a simple setup really. It's nothing too drastic, it don't take long. And there you go guys, so the hardest part to do now, wish me luck, is to get this beautiful girl into her new enclosure. So guys, as you can see, I've placed the tub inside the enclosure, so let's just give her a little touch. Let's see if she's going to be a good girl, which is you can see the size of her. She's absolutely huge. Whoa! And there we go. That was fast. So there we go. So she's inside the enclosure. Give me a little bit of a jump scare there. And there she is, guys, just underneath that piece of wood just there. I need to get myself a paintbrush. I know Dave from Dave's Little Beasties, he uses a paintbrush, which I need to get a paintbrush, to be fair. Yeah, so a little bit of a jump scare there, guys. So I'm glad she's in her new enclosure. So we'll put it on the shelf and hopefully it will look absolutely fantastic.